If Week 7. Not actually a page. If you could have one person alive today call you for advice, who would you want it to be? Now, to be clear, the question says, if you have one person alive today call you for advice, not the other way around. So the question is really, who would be the person that you feel you should be giving advice to that is alive today? Well, there are a few people who came to mind. Number one, of course, Donald Trump. I mean, as much as I would love to see an American president who's in the WWE Hall of Fame for being in a hair versus hair billionaires match at WrestleMania, the fact of the matter is, I'd love to have him call me and just be like, stop. Just stop. But I'm Canadian, and unfortunately, I shouldn't have my opinion really out there for an American election because it isn't my election. I just had my election, so that's that. So unfortunately for me, it's not going to be Donald Trump, but please stop. My second choice was Justin Bieber. Talented young man, absolutely an embarrassment to Canada. I mean, just look at him with our former Prime Minister. Unbelievable. But thankfully, he is no longer Canada's problem. If you didn't know, a couple years ago at the Olympics, when the Canadians beat the Americans at hockey in the semifinals, we had a loser keeps Bieber bet. And the Americans lost, so he is now your problem. Ha 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 ha. So, my final answer would be whoever is in charge of the Fantastic Four at Fox. Now, I am one of those rare Fantastic Four fans. So I'd like to speak to him. So I will pretend that he is now in front of me, and I'm speaking to that executive who's been dealing with the Fantastic Four ever since it was acquired by Fox. How the hell can you not make a proper Fantastic Four movie? Let's start with the family. Number one, you have the Thing. This awesome, strong, sarcastic New York character that is extremely fascinating, fun to see fight, and has such a unique flaw. Unlike the Hulk, who can change back from the Hulk to Bruce Banner, the Thing doesn't have a choice. He is always the monster. He is always the Thing. That's interesting and can make for an amazing storyline. On the other side, you have Johnny Storm, this young, brash kid, or teenager, I guess, or young adult, depending on which one you're reading, who's got all these crazy powers and just wants to go to the extreme with them. It's such an interesting to have this guy who hasn't really had to grapple with life yet have these big powers and seeing how he deals with them without getting himself into too much trouble. Then you have Mr. Fantastic, a brilliant scientist who feels that he has the weight of the world on his shoulders because he is often the person that people go to figure out cosmic problems which nobody else knows how to deal with. That's a lot of responsibility on that man. And finally, you have Invisible Woman. Not only is she a superhero and can do kick-ass things with her invisibility and her force field, but she has to bear the weight of that entire group on her shoulders. Everybody says Mr. Fantastic is in charge of the Fantastic Four. I disagree. I always thought it was Sue Storm. She's the one who keeps that family together, keeps that unit together, it keeps the team strong, and it's a very awesome dynamic that they haven't been able at all to capture on film. So shame on you for that. Just please let it happen the way it is in the comics. It can be such an interesting family. Furthermore, you have two of the best villains in the Marvel Universe, Doctor Doom and Galactus. Come on! How did you mess that up so bad? You had 3 opportunities and you messed it up. Doctor Doom, it's so simple. He's a brilliant guy. He's in charge of his own country, and he grapples with wanting to take over the world. That's what he wants. That's his goal in life, is to take over the world. And you just you give him all these weird powers. No, his strength is his mind. He uses his mind to figure a way to make life living hell for others because he wants power of it. It's simple, and he is awesome. He looks so awesome in the comic, and you still messed it up. And Galactus, oh my god, Galactus to me is like the Undertaker in wrestling, for those who watch wrestling. Every time Galactus shows up, I know business is about to pick up. You know it's an important event in the Marvel Universe when Galactus has to show up. And it's always interesting how they deal with him, because they can't really beat him, although there are some comics that they have, but that's the whole story. They can't really beat him. They kind of have to convince him not to destroy Earth. So because Galactus isn't a villain, he is just trying to keep balance in the universe, and by doing so has to feed on planets, and Earth being a prime planet to feed on because of its energy. But if he can be convinced not to destroy Earth, and sometimes saving Earth, because in the long run it might benefit him in other ways. And that's interesting. That's what Silver Surfer came down for, to find the humanity in Earth to convince Galactus not to destroy it. Fantastic Four is a great franchise. And now we're going to have to wait years for another reboot because you messed it up. So I want one of two things to happen. One, get your damn act together and make a comic version of the Fantastic Four. Just the characters look like they are in the comic. Doctor Doom the way he looks like, Galactus the way he looks like, the Fantastic Four the way they look like. Now, I'm not complaining about Michael B. Jordan being a black man as Johnny Storm. Michael B. Jordan is an amazing actor. If you haven't seen him in, Fruitvale Station and Creed, the guy's amazing. There's nothing to do with race. And in fact, if you want to make him black, I really don't care. It's the essence of the characters that you were missing. And just, that's all I want. I want them to look proper, to feel proper, and just to be cool. But the more simple number 2, just give them to Marvel, please. Just push it away to Marvel. They know what to do with franchises. They've proved that they can do the cosmic thing really well. They've proved that they can stay close to the comic where comic fans are satisfied, but also far enough that film people can be satisfied. They know how to make a great movie, and I would love to see the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, and Galactus be in a proper film. So Fox executive, that is my advice to you. So that was another week of If. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all on the flip side.